now recording.
Okay, so like I came back from Texas, or not from Texas. I came back from Cali to Texas like a week and a half ago ish, right? And I did that the whole drive is like 19 hours from San Diego to Austin.
Fun.
And so the plan was to split the drive into 2 days. 10 hours and 9 hours stopping at Las Cruces, which is like near not San Antonio. It's near somewhere I was told not to go. So I was like, okay. So it was me and my cat in the car, and like my car was full. And I'm slightly allergic to my cat, but that's my fault.
Oh no.
So it was me and him in the car on just like long stretches of nothing for the whole first 10 hours, which was cool. Like I got hit by a tumbleweed, which felt very cool.
What the?
I saw some of those like dust tornado things,
Dust bunnies?
That looked sick.
Oh yeah, I've seen those, yeah.
I did drive past a sex shop that was like the size of a Target, and I wanted to go in, but like I was in sweatpants, a Star Wars t-shirt with cat hair on it, and in flip-flops, and I was like, I look like more of an incel than anyone on this planet right now, so that wouldn't look cool, so I didn't. I just drove past it.
Okay.
But anyway, so like, I've been driving for 10 hours straight. I didn't get put up in like a nice hotel, because it's like one night. Why would I waste money, right? Plus I have my cat. So like my mom booked me a room at like this Motel 8. And so I get there and like the front desk was fine. And he gave me my key and like I went back to go get Akamaru. And I like, as you like enter the building, it just smells like hookers and weed and depression, like the entire building.
That's a fun combination.
Dude, it was pretty like it was heavy weed, but like bad weed, and then like that like distinct cheap perfume smell that was not fun. And I'm like, whatever, it's a sketchy motel, I assume. So I'm walking to my room, which is at the other end of the hallway, and like my feet start going squish, 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 squish. And there's literally the entire carpet that I'm walking on is like soaked in water from someone's door overflowing. And I'm like, I don't know if there's a dead body in there. That'd be weird. So I'm just gonna keep going. And so I get to my room, and like, it smells like shit in my room. I look at the sheets and there's literally hair and stains on the sheets. And so I literally laid down my shirt over like the comforter and just kind of laid there like, all right, whatever. I'm just tired. I just need to sleep, right? I don't really need to be in comfort. Akamaru, my cat, who had not like meowed he didn't meow, fuss, or anything the entire 10 hours we were in the car, but he was meowing like a motherfucker to get out of this hotel room, like sitting at the door, pawing it. He was like, let me out. And I was like, yeah, this is weird. So like I got there like 9:30 p.m. So throughout the night, like I'm just hearing weird noises. And around like 11 or 12, I called my mom. And I was like, hey, this place is kind of sketchy. Can I just like drive through the night? And she's like, no, you need to sleep. I was like, fuck. And so I hung up. I tried to like lay down and just sleep. And I fell asleep at like 10 for a solid 15 minutes. I got woken up by 10:15 by just some like loud, weird noises. And I was like, this place is sketchy. So I started reading. And like, so around 2:15 in the morning, there's just like, I'm still reading. There's this thunderous crash. Like it wasn't a gunshot. I was like, what the fuck? But something was either thrown or dropped or like smacked. And it was really loud and it literally like shook my room. And I looked up and then there's like just this blood curdling scream. And then you can hear people sprinting on the second floor, like doo, 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 like running. And so I said, okay, I'm not sleeping. And so I packed all my shit up. I called my mom. I was like, yo, I'm going to get out of here. Like, this is sketchy. But I was like, if something's going down, I didn't want to be right there, So I waited a half hour until I look out my window and there's 3 cop cars up in front of the motel. And that's when I was like, all right, fuck this. We're out of here. I grabbed Akamaru. I had all my shit, started walking out the door. So I still to this day have no idea what happened. I tried to look I looked up the date and like that place and nothing comes up. But I literally, as I'm walking out, one of the cops pulls me aside. He asks me like who I am, what I'm doing here, where I'm going, where I came from, why. I had to give him my contact information. Like, I got questioned by the cop, basically just
Holy
like asking
crap.
me what I heard and shit. It's like, what the fuck? I definitely heard someone get murdered or something. Like, 100% think I
God.
heard someone get murdered. But I did it to myself because I was on the phone earlier that day with my girlfriend, and she was like, "How's the drive?" I'm like, "It's boring as hell." I would literally,
Boring
I would, I
Little
was
did
like,
he
"It's so
know.
boring." I was like, "I would love for something supernatural
Wait, Joseph
or
just left the call.
upsetting to occur." Hi, Joseph.
Sorry, my thing's been acting up lately, so that might happen.
Oh wait,
think-
I hope that doesn't screw up.
I think there's pills for that.
Does that screw up the vocal channels on Craig recording?
No idea.
Should we check?
Oh no.
We'll check later. It's fine.
Okay, you're the one editing.
Eh.
Okay.
I mean, it would switch if it switches the channels, it would still switch it simultaneously, you know? So it like there's a definite cutoff point. It won't affect
Right.
me at all.
Okay.
I mean, technically also this is boring, but if I'm editing and the audio channels switch, it would switch for all three of us, so it wouldn't even matter cuz no one would notice.
Okay. So long as you can.
No, I wouldn't even need to
Figure it
change
out.
anything
We'll
because
probably-
nothing would be recording on the other channels. You get it? It would just be switching the
Yeah.
channels. So it wouldn't matter.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, that's my story. I think I heard someone get murdered on my way here.
That's. Oh
You
my
know, that's
God.
not what I was expecting when you said you had a story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suspected there would be weed involved, but like murder?
hey.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I mean, there was, dude, I don't know. Maybe like a prostitute didn't get paid or was getting beat or something because there was a scream. I don't know. It was a sketchy
the pimp
place.
came?
All I do know, yeah, pimp came, bro. I don't know. I manifested some bad juju, but like it was kind of cool at the same time.
Can something happen, please? No, not that. Not like this. Oh my God.
Hey, did you know
I
that
don't
we're on a
mind.
podcast right now?
Well, yeah.
Was
'cause
that
I
our
heard.
cold open?
Did you not hear the now recording? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, was that our cold open? Or we're Brooklyn 99.
Something like that. Oh, dude, I can hear your utensils.
My bad.
Please tell the audience what you're eating.
Chicken tender crumbs.
Crumbs.
I finished the tenders, but there's a lot of crumbs.
You should turn them into like a soup or something.
Gross?
Well, there's not that many crumbs.
Ah, dang.
There's like a solid like 2 bites worth of crumbs.
Chicken tender crumb soup.
You're a chicken tender crumb.
Am I a tasty one?
Oh, you're a tasty
Okay,
ass
so
crumb.
are we gonna yeah, after that, I don't know how to follow that up. Like I had a story too, but mine is so not nearly as interesting.
Do it.
Okay, so I switched a couple weeks ago. I switched from delivering for Postmates to DoorDash, right? Because I felt like I was being underpaid by Postmates. Postmates was giving me troubles. Like for some reason, my bank information changed without me knowing. I didn't know. Like I don't have Ally Bank, and therefore I wasn't getting paid. So I was kind of just fed up with the issues. So I switched to DoorDash. And my first delivery wasn't even food; it was flowers. And and I had to go to.
Wait, they deliver flowers too?
They deliver flowers. They deliver 7-Eleven. They deliver. I don't know what else, but I don't know what else other than food. But
I'm intrigued.
yeah. Anyways, excuse me. So I got the notification on the phone that like, oh, this is a gift. So the recipient might not expect this. I'm like, okay, but I see the recipient. And it's you. Please censor this out. So
Holy crap!
I thought, whoa, yeah. Imagine my luck. The first time I deliver for DoorDash, I deliver something to a former classmate,
Middle
and
school,
and I was delivering the gift of one of my Saints classmates.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, because I knew they were dating, and I guess they're still dating. And I'm just like, oh,
do I
that's a lot
know
of
these
pressure.
people? Do I know the man who's dating her? I know her.
No, you don't know him.
Oh, then I don't care.
Do I know
going.
him?
No. Well, I mean, I doubt you remember him. He wasn't in our crowd.
Cool.
Because, like, remember, you went to Saints for 1 year. So, like,
Yeah.
Anyways, so I pick up the order from Albertsons. Albertsons? Yeah, Albertsons. And I follow the address. It's like a 16, 17-minute drive because
Yeah.
I had to get on the 78 East to Ramona.
What?
Yeah, it's not that she was in Ramona. It's just that she was pretty far. It's like you go down. Oh, that's a lot of addresses or a lot of street names.
It's
I
whatever.
probably
She
didn't-
lived in a weird direction.
Yeah, she lived in a weird direction, pretty far. Because guess what? She's rich. Big surprise. So yeah, I drive to the neighborhood, and it's like a bunch of huge houses, or like pretty huge houses. And she was one of the pretty huge houses. And I turned right, and I realized she's up that hill, or up a large hill. It's very, very, very steep. So I go up the hill.
Tell me more
I'm
about this
pushing
hill.
forward. It's steep.
Thank you.
Just like me pushing the duration for this episode, it's gonna be steep. No. Anyways, I'm driving up this hill, and then I'm like, oh, there are 4 cars are taking up the parking space. So where do I park? So as I was looking for a place to park, I like reached the apex of the hill, and then before I figure out a place to stop, I'm off the curb and in the dirt. So, and when I hit the car, and when I drive off the curb and into the dirt, the flowers fall. The water spills the water in the vase spills, and that's
there
all
was a
over my
vase?
passenger seat.
Ooh.
Yeah, that spills all over my passenger seat now.
Oof.
So I'm panicking because my car is stuck and my seat is wet. I'm like, oh crap, what do I do? Do I call AAA? Do I call my dad? But anyways, I was lucky enough that the garage door was open and her dad was working in there, and he saw me struggling. So he was kind enough to help me. So I'm like, hey, I was supposed to deliver something here to your daughter, but I got stuck.
But I
it seems. And
fucked
he's
it
like,
up.
But I messed up. Anyways, and he says like, okay, just complete the delivery and then I'll help you here. I'm like, okay. So I hand the stuff. Since I have a mask on, doesn't recognize me at first, but I texted her later. She realized it was me later. But anyways, yeah, 30 to 40 minutes of trial and error with her dad, and her little brother, who was, by the way, shirtless. Nice.
Oh, I know what he said.
No, Jordan. Like that.
I'm kidding. Anyways,
we can only sexualize Joseph's brother.
Well, they're the same age, aren't they?
anyways,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's different. Stop.
okay. Anyways, yeah, 30, 40 minutes. I eventually was free, and it took a very, very long time, but told me later like that happens all the time, and I'm like, why don't they fix it?
Someone drives off the curb all the time.
It's pretty. Apparently, it happens often, and she's like, don't even worry about it. I'm like, oh
Bro,
my
what
god,
if they're like a Get Out family, and that's like one of the
One of the
traps to
traps.
keep the people
the ways
there?
they trap them.
It's the ways they trap the black people is with curious parking maneuvers. Ah.
Oh,
Yeah.
my shoulder.
Anyways, that's a big.
Alright.
That was
Anyways, this is a podcast
so
about
embarrassing.
media.
Though. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that was like what, 8 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was the time. That
Yay.
was an allotted amount of time.
I
Okay.
don't
So
have a story.
of course, you know, your life is
Yay.
uninteresting.
Damn.
What? You know, you
Plus,
don't
you're not allowed to
be
leave the
Damn.
house anyway.
rude about it.
That was just mean.
I'm sorry.
Wait, okay, now I had to come up with a story. One time my sister backed into a car. It was pretty cool.
Remember
Holy
when Aydin backed
shit!
into a?
No
remember
way.
when Aydin
Wait,
backed into
no,
a dumpster?
No, I don't remember that.
Remember when we heard a loud beeping and we were like, "What's that beeping noise?"
Is my car broken? Shut up! No one needs to know about that.
Okay, well, like, you didn't like dent another car, so it's fine.
No, I
yeah,
hit a-
maybe just your car.
Wasn't it like the yellow pole in front of the dumpster?
I don't remember.
I thought it was a dumpster.
I thought I don't know. It was
definitely near a dumpster.
okay, but it was like sticking in the middle of the fucking road. Okay,
It was a very
weird.
tight parking lot. Like,
It
it
was
was really
weird.
awkward.
Okay, anyway, Jordan, you have an intro for us. Now I'm salty.
Anyways. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Dude You Haven't podcast, where each week one of us, or two of us, recommends a piece of media the others haven't experienced, and we talk about it. I am your primary host this time, Jordan Janiza. With me, I have
Wait, who's
Oh, I
going
guess
first?
I don't know.
exactly. I wanted you guys to figure it out. Figure
Fuck.
it out.
You go first.
Hi, I'm Joseph.
Hi, I'm Aydin.
Okay, great.
That was like
Okay.
pretty professional up until like we started talking.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was a
this
good
time around-
start. Besides us.
I had them, and then I lost them. Great. This time around, we'll be discussing music for the first time instead of music. And movies? Movies.
Muses.
Newsies
I
is
wrote
a
this-
great musical.
I wrote this whole spiel. I wrote this whole intro, and I edited it and everything, and I still can't even read it.
Okay, but like on the
before
topic
we
of
begin to
Newsies,
talk
really
about the artist
quick.
in question.
Wait,
Oh,
Wait,
oh my god!
really quick. On the topic of Newsies, did you know there's a full album that is produced that stars Jeremy Jordan, the star of Newsies, in the Death Note the musical, and he plays Light.
What?
You can listen to this whole album on YouTube. That is
I'm
all,
learning
my
so
children.
much today.
Because adaptations
know,
don't
right?
go over so well.
Dude, the songs are kind of fire. Okay, continue. That's all.
Okay, before we begin to talk about the artist in question, I thought it might be beneficial to talk about our backgrounds and our respective experiences with music. So first, Aydin, what's your background with music?
Just music in general.
Yeah.
So I have a pretty wide variety of taste. I like a
I'm-
little bit of
the first
everything.
question. Actually,
Yeah.
the first question means to do with like, have you ever played an instrument? Have you ever learned? Any education?
No,
in it?
fuck me. I can't play music for shit. I cannot read music for shit. I tried to learn the guitar one time because my dad bought me a Spider-Man guitar
Yo, that's
as a
epic.
child.
Yo.
Yeah, I have no idea where it is.
I want a
and I
Spider-Man
kind of
guitar.
just didn't pay attention. I like to sing.
Your
That's
pipes are
not to
pretty
say
great.
I'm good at it because I sound like a cat in heat when I sing, but like
As long as you're having
it's
fun.
enjoyable.
Yes.
There.
Ayden's a great karaoke
I just
buddy.
burped and coughed at the same time, and I think I died and went to heaven. That's it. Okay.
All right,
that's
next question.
my
How is your
experience.
taste in music? How?
Wait, am I answering the question
your taste
or
in
Wait,
music?
shouldn't-
No, I'm doing this. I'm doing this in a professional order.
Okay.
Wait. Question, Daddy Jordan. Wouldn't it make more sense to answer the same questions for both of us at the same time?
That's true. That's fair. Joseph, what's your background with music then?
I'm mediocre at several instruments. Am I allowed to plug my band?
Yeah.
I
No, I'm just kidding.
I have
set
a band with my
For
friend
this
Jeff.
whole section.
And then I do another thing by myself called Arcade Junkie. Oh, the band's called West Coast Misfits right now. We changed the name. I can play a little bit of guitar and bass and ukulele and like
And
kind of
GarageBand.
piano. Yeah, and I use GarageBand because I'm an amateur.
Joseph, what about the instrument in our intro that you didn't mention?
Oh, the
He
kazoo.
plays a mean kazoo, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
Yes.
let the record show Joseph was the one who composed the intro song. Good job. Good job.
Hey
Thank you.
Jordan,
Catchy.
what's your history in music? I
So-
got him, dude.
All right, so I grew up learning how to play the piano. I think I started around the age of 4 or 5, and I played for 8 years. I stopped at around the age of 12, and I took a hiatus from that because I was probably just focused on school, doing other things, gaming. I was busy gaming. But yeah, when I was 17, I bought my own personal keyboard, so that I could practice on my own without disturbing the house or whatever by using like the full main piano. So I picked it up again around then, and honestly, I play around like I have the skill of about someone with 1 year of experience.
So
But
can you do
otherwise, I think-
Megalomania?
Aw, yeah.
I mean, I know the chords, but I know the chords and I know the hook, but I don't
You-
really
Or
know how to
Giorno's
play it.
Giorno Joestar's theme is also acceptable.
I mean, I can read sheet music, no problem. I'm just slow at integrating like fingering patterns into muscle memory when it
He
comes
said
to
fingering.
Hey, that's what it's called. I ask my friend Austin for fingering advice all the time. Okay, just let it happen. We're both pianists.
Take that bit.
But yeah, I also took AP Music Theory my senior year of high school, and I scored a fat 4. So
That's pretty
that-
good.
yeah, I did better than my sister. That's what was important to me.
Fair enough.
So okay, next question. Aydin, how has your taste in music changed throughout your life?
I don't think my taste has changed. I kind of just kept adding shit. I just kind of like music in general. There's not a whole lot I dislike. As a child, I never really listened to anything modern till I was like 9 or 10, because my dad only ever played the Beatles or AC/DC or Queen and the such in the car. Big Beatles
Naturally.
boy growing up. And then I guess Panic at the Disco is a big boy. Fall Out Boy
First
is a big
concert,
boy for
let's go.
me. Yeah, that was the first concert I ever went to, was with Jordan. We went to go see Panic at the Disco and Weezer. We only stayed for one Weezer song. We're cool
No,
like
yeah,
that.
that's not to say we didn't like Weezer. It's
Um,
just we were kind of on a time crunch because we were
Yeah.
underage.
Because we're children. We were children. We're not children anymore. Yeah, I kind of like everything. Like I dislike specific songs, or I dislike specific artists. Yeah.
True.
Hey Joseph,
What about
same
country?
question. Boom.
Wait, what about
dude,
country?
like Hannah Montana is the extent of my country
That's rock.
desire. I
That's
feel like
rock.
that's solid. Yeah.
That's like rock with country influence.
Country
But-
rock.
Yeah, sure.
Crocs.
Crocs. Okay,
Country
go on,
rock.
Joseph.
Oh, so growing up, I didn't like most of the music I listened to was like the music my parents would listen to.
I don't
I
believe
didn't-
him. He wasn't born. He was created. He didn't grow up. Joseph has been this age since birth.
I thought he
He's
had
lying.
Benjamin Button disease.
Shit, he does.
Don't expose me. I'm trying to keep that like on the download, Jordan. You can't be like saying that on the podcast. But and then like I think freshman year is when I started getting into music, and that was like Fall Out Boy. Fall Out Boy was like the first band that I got into, and then after that I just started
On your
to
own,
get-
of course.
Yeah, on my own. And then after that I just started to get into like progressively like more punk sounding bands. So a lot of the stuff I listen to is like smaller punk bands.
You know what's funny though? I remember the summer between 8th and 9th grade. I remember you and I collectively were making fun of Samantha for listening to obscure bands we've never heard of. And now that's exactly what you're doing. You're listening to a ton of bands I've never heard.
Okay, but they're obscure punk bands.
But that
okay?
concert was pretty fun though.
It was fun.
That doesn't make them any less obscure.
Does anyone else find themselves on a rainy day listening to way too much Phineas and Ferb? Because I really do sometimes.
Okay, no. Okay, so next question. What do you two listen to often these days? Aydin?
Oh, me first. Okay. I listen a lot to so this is gonna sound dumb. There's a guy on YouTube. His name is Fabville, Fabvl. He like makes raps based on like characters of anime, and they're kind of dope. So I've been listening to that a lot.
I googled his name. Fortnite Chapter 2 rap song. That's
Okay, no, I have never listened to the Fortnite songs. He gets like paid for those. That's why there's a lot of those. But his anime ones are
big
good.
brain,
I mean, I'm still listening
Keep
to a lot
in.
of. I listen to a lot of Panic. I listen to some rap. I listen to anime openings. I'm trying to like look at my. I listen to a lot of weird things. Like, okay, so my playlist right now, it goes from Rascal Flatts to the Prince of Egypt soundtrack
That's a good soundtrack.
to
Kid,
Kid Cudi to Kanye West to
Isn't it Kid
Black
Cudi?
Bear to the main theme song for the Ben 10 Alien Swarm movie
That's epic.
to a Bad Romance cover to a TikTok song to Chris Brown to Childish Gambino to 5 Seconds of Summer. Like, I listen to there's no coherence to my music taste.
You do have quite the variety.
It's too much variety, but I don't know how to organize
I
it.
appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I'm the same too, but it's more like I'm in phases. All right, Joseph, what's up? Your turn next.
Just like I mean, it's been a lot of punk. Pup.
Name bands.
That's because you're a punk.
Oh! Pup,
Kinda
Prince
rude,
Daddy, and the Hyena. That's a band name. Lemon Demon isn't punk, but I've been listening to that too.
Lemon Demon?
Listen, his songs are good, okay? Lifetime Achievement Award slaps. The Front Bottoms, I don't think that's punk either, but like that's like kind of in the emo-ish range. It's like
range. Okay, so that's about it.
Yeah, that and Fall Out Boy still. Like Fall Out Boy's always in there.
I like the names of those bands.
Right. That's how I define Joseph's music tastes. Unknown bands with weird names.
Fair.
Wait, hold on. I need to think of ones with weirder names.
Well, no, now it's the moment's passed.
I don't think I could top Prince Daddy and the Hyena. Oh, Michael Sarah Palin.
Fucking that is not the.
That's a band
name.
That is the band name.
I hate and love that so much at the exact same time. I'm sorry, Jordan. Continue.
Oh, I mean, if that's it, I was gonna get to mine.
That's the gist of it.
Yeah. So, see, I didn't develop a music taste until middle school. I think I think up until 6th grade, I was mainly listening to, like DJ Joe video game remixes, and then like some video game songs.
Oh yeah, I had an EDM phase briefly.
Yeah, some anime music, and then by the time I reached middle school, I met I don't know if we're gonna say if we can bleep out his name or not. We can. I met.
Ah, yes.
Thanks for saying both his names. So now I do have to.
Fine. Okay.
No, wait, hold up. I love that. Jordan's like, should I say his name? I don't know if I should. Here's his first and last name as clearly as I could possibly say.
Here's his first, middle, last name, and his social security number.
Okay, but yeah, Carson and Nico and those guys, and I started getting into a lot of Monster Cat music, and of course, because what do you expect out of a 13-year-old?
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, I was super into that. And then like I sprinkled some Green Day in there.
Oh yeah, Green Day.
A little sprinkle, a little spritz, a little refresher.
So yeah, 8th and 9th grade was pretty emo for me. What do you call it? Panic at the Disco. Also Fall Out Boy, some Fall Out Boy. And then started getting into My Chemical Romance retroactively. And then around 2016, Pierce the Veil, Sleeping with Sirens, Under Oath, some Under Oath. Around 2017, I got into like Era, which is
no idea what that is.
Metalcore. It's
oh,
I actually love Era, dude. Wow. And then I think by 2018, I was pretty set with just listening to rock and emo. Until of course my sister introduced me to K-pop. I went to KCON. I'll get into that when I talk about K-pop, but yeah, and now it's just K-pop with the occasional sprinkling of the Cocks. That's a great Korean indie band. They're so good. They're so weird, but they're so good. Joseph, have you ever listened to them? I feel like
I haven't.
Yeah,
but I might.
They're great. I made a playlist of their entire discography. If you want me to send it to you, it's great.
Yeah, sure.
Anyways, yeah, that and Keshi, Nikki, Joji, and Fern. I love Fern. Everyone should.
I also love Ferb.
He's a
Me too.
Ferb. He's
Ferb.
Ferb.
The man of action.
Dude,
anyways,
he is.
so that there's no a little bit more clarity. Fern, Fern, period, on Spotify. He's Filipino. He's based in the Philippines, but all his songs are in English. They're great, pretty emo, pretty chill. So yeah, K-pop.
Yeah.
So Okay, so this week I have recommended to these two gentlemen the K-pop girl group known as Twice.
Yes, you did.
I sent these two guys a 2.5-ish maybe hour long playlist filled with music videos, lyric videos, dance practices, stages, meme videos, and of course the necessary guide video because that's a very popular video archetype in the K-pop fandom. So I have a feeling that a few people may have reservations that the first time we discuss music on the podcast, it's K-pop. We're completely allowing ourselves to cover all genres of music from across the world. Since this week it was my turn to make a recommendation, I mean,
Prince Daddy.
Anyways, Joseph, I'm in the middle of a spiel here.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Since this week it was my turn to make a recommendation, I felt that it would be appropriate for the podcast that I share what has immensely occupied my attention for the last 2 years. For most of my life, I too was not interested in K-pop for some of the common reasons I hear. I don't know Korean, I didn't vibe with it, etc. However, at that point, I had very limited knowledge of what being a K-pop fan truly encompassed and how much diversity it had to offer. I heard songs like Fantastic Baby by Big Bang, Nobody by Wonder Girls, and other similar songs, and thought that that was what K-pop sounded like. The same way I feel a lot of country sounds very similar. It wasn't that I disliked K-pop as much as I'm not a fan of country, but it was more like that wasn't for me, and I was okay with that. It wasn't until around 2017 I was really opened to what K-pop could sound like. The first song that really caught my attention was "Ordinary Love" by Park Kyung, which I'd love to throw in as like a recommendation to anyone, you guys too. It was a mix of charming and colorful, all while having an infectious hook I hadn't felt with Western pop. The next song I really loved was "Thanks" by 17, which is an emotionally captivating song that had. Well, yeah, you're welcome. Wow. Okay.
Got him.
Okay, that it's an emotionally captivating song that defied my expectations as an old fan of Western EDM with its melody and its drop, especially choreography too. That's great. Fast forward to August of 2018, I had just come home from KCON LA with my sister and was more intrigued as to what could bring so many people together for a convention. Ever since then, I've spent countless hours discovering more groups, learning idols' names and their personalities, and buying albums, and collecting photo cards in a binder. I'd love to show you guys my binder. It's great. It's just filled with a bunch of girls. Anyways, K-pop isn't the genre of music.
That sentence out of context sounds really scary.
No, photo cards. They're little.
Hey, you want to see my binders of women? Sorry.
You're not. I'm trying to have a spiel here about why I love K-pop and why people shouldn't be weirded out about it. Now you're making me feel weird about it.
My bad.
All right. For me, K-pop isn't a genre of music. It's an experience worth fully checking out. Anyways, back to the artist at hand. Who are Twice? Twice is a 9-member girl group that debuted on October 20th, 2015 under JYP Entertainment. The members were chosen through a competitive reality show known as 16, where 16 female JYP trainees were given a chance to show the nation their talents and their charms. The members' names are Im Na-yeon, Yoo Jung-yeon, Hirai Momo, Minato Zaki-sana, Park Ji-hyo, Yeon Mi-na, Kim Da-hyun, Sun Chae-young, and Cho Tzu-yi. Or, as the fans like to say, Dajangmo Saji Mi Dachisu. How's that for an intro?
Damn.
I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm not gonna remember their names. So...
I'm gonna also let you know I too will not be remembering their names. I have notes, and I tried my best to remember by hairstyle.
See, that's bad because their hair changes all the time.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so my guys, the thing with remembering K-pop idol names, you don't plan to; it just happens.
Yeah,
fair.
Did you sit down and try to remember all the BTS member names, Aydin?
Yes.
Oh, you did?
I watched a guide video. Okay, so like I like 2 K-pop groups previous to this podcast listening. I like Blackpink and I like BTS, so it's kind of basic.
Well, let me pause you right there. Yeah, let me pause you right there. To me, to me, if you tell people you like K-pop and you say you like Blackpink and BTS, you don't like K-pop. You like Blackpink and BTS.
Cool.
Yeah, that's just my. That's
kind of what I figured.
It's like, oh yeah, I like anime. I like Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece.
Yeah, fair.
I play the piano. I play the guitar. I know Wonderwall by Oasis. You know what I mean?
No. The answer to that would be I know Stairway to Heaven.
Oh
Get
well,
it right.
That's a matter of crowds. If you're like in the emo crowd, then it would be Wonderwall.
Yeah. You're
Anyways,
my
go on.
Wonderwall. Sorry.
You were saying something about remembering BTS names?
Oh yeah, I watched a guide video and then I looked at them and it was after I had already watched like their music for like a little bit, so I more was just like remembering who was who in the videos because their hair changes all the time, and eventually
Right.
I just like kind of got it. Like it's just there's just so many fucking people.
Who's your favorite member? Go.
So many of them. Name all the BTS members.
No, who's your favorite?
Oh, Jungkook or
It's called
Jimin.
having a bias.
Jungle Book.
Jungle Book or Digimon. Fuck myself. I don't know. Jimin or Jungkook are my two favorite BTS members.
That's fair. Okay, so
Okay.
okay, there's the ear rape noises. I hope you edit that.
Yay.
I hope you edit that out too.
I'm gonna lick the microphone. Would that be better?
I mean, you're the one editing it. I recommend that you edit it out for the sake of the audience.
I'm gonna clap your cheeks for the sake of the audience.
I would also prefer you edit that out.
That's staying in.
No, that's gotta stay.
That's gotta stay in there. All right, continue, Jordan.
All right, boys. What were your first impressions after hearing Like Uwa?
Joseph, would you like to go first?
Crap. Hold on. Wait, let me listen to that one again because I.
Oh my god. Okay, I have my notes. Okay. So
I told you to write notes.
I'm
Wait,
sorry. I had a
notes.
busy week. I had to do it while I was doing homework.
Fair. So Aydin didn't really like. It was a little too like lollipop for me. Like it was really
You
happy.
thought that was Lollipop?
Little bit. It was a little bit. It was just kind of okay. The theme of their like almost every song you sent us, like just because I didn't watch anything past what you sent us, is just like they're like either too shy or they're like in love with the boy and want to tell him, and that's kind of it.
That's their music.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think I'm the crowd for Twice is what I determined, but
Well,
this. I also because this came before the guide video, and I did not go back and watch it after the guide video in the playlist. I couldn't tell who the fuck anybody was. There was so many people. There's 9 of them, and
it's
they like.
only 9.
It seems like a lot. It
Yeah,
feels
there a
like a
group that has
lot.
like 20 something. NCT
22.
22.
Oh my god, that's too many.
The thing with NCT though, they started as a smaller unit, and then they added members, and then they added members, became 127, and then they added members, and then they had younger members, became Dream, and then they added Wavy, which is Chinese. You know, it's like 22.
There's so many layers.
It's NCT is not something I can really fully explain to you because I'm not the biggest fan, or at least I'm not as into it.
It's
as
like
some
it's
people.
like being a fan of Fate. It's like watching the Fate series.
Stay
You don't
Night?
actually know. Yeah, I've watched Unlimited Blade Works, and that's it.
Oh, I see. Joseph,
Yes.
thoughts?
I didn't have a whole lot of thoughts about this one. I didn't mind it. But it wasn't. I didn't love it either.
Bruh. Okay.
Yeah, no, I didn't have any strong feelings about this one.
Really? Nothing?
There was a few later down the line that I was getting a little more into, but that might just be because I've heard them before, and that's like the mere exposure effect. But I don't think I've heard this one before, so it was like
Yeah, this is their debut track. This is
Okay.
and what I sent you, majority of what I sent you guys, it's all their title tracks. They have music videos. They were the ones most performed during the time period. You know, when it comes to K-pop albums, you have your title tracks and your B-sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I Write Sins, you know. That's the one people
Do you
know
write
most.
sins?
That's the song. Yeah, most
Yes,
people know
I
on
know.
that album. And when it comes to K-pop, the title track, they have the choreography. They perform that same song basically for a month ish. They do fan signs, they do all that stuff, promote it, and then it's over. But yeah, I showed you guys title tracks. I showed you their music videos, and then I threw in like 2 B-sides. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
but did this but does the but do you think did you guys think that watching the stage was a different experience? That was the first time they had performed on TV as a group in front of people, in front of an audience, and that's why I thought that was an important video to include. But yeah, what do you guys think? Did it change anything at all?
I like the pumpkins in the background. They're pretty
Yeah,
cool.
they debuted around Halloween, so
Oh, that's neat.
You're a
October
little
20th.
pumpkin boy.
Maybe.
It didn't really change anything for me. I like the live performances because, like, I've watched the BTS ones just so you can watch the whole dance, I guess.
Right.
Their choreo is just kind of simplistic, I guess, like, to me. Um, so like it didn't really add or detract anything for me, I don't think. I'm also just not a huge fan of like lip syncing, which I know they do a lot for in general for K-pop
Well,
like live
okay,
performances because they dance a lot. Like I understand it. It's just not my
no,
favorite.
no, that stage in particular, there was a backtrack of their voices, but they were still singing live at
That's
if you
no, that's
noticed.
more what I mean. I don't like it when there's a backtrack because like you can barely hear their voices. They did this to my homegirl. Um, oh crap, Kiki Palmer. There we go. They did this to my homegirl Kiki Palmer at the League of Legends World Championship. She sings she sings the chorus of Giants. If you've ever heard it, if not,
If I've ever
fire.
heard
Not
it.
just you.
Go
Yeah,
on.
but they did my. If you watch the live performance, you can literally hear Kiki trying to sing over the track because she's trying to fucking sing, but they're just playing the track so that everything goes perfectly. And I don't like that.
Yeah.
Cause like you don't pay to go see something live, not live. You
Yeah.
know?
Mhm.
I do. Yeah, hearing it live is a different experience than hearing like a recording, and I think sometimes having a backtrack could like detract from that.
Yes. So that's my take on that.
Yeah, so live performances versus studio versions and all that. Like I prefer groups. I prefer when a group does it live, and I get a little sad whenever I hear that there's a backtrack, and I don't mind it or anything. But for me, I think when I see stages and I hear the songs, I think what matters is that I'm watching these girls that I'm attached to perform, and I'm watching them wow the audience, and showcasing their hard work in that department instead. And and even when I saw them at KCON, I didn't necessarily feel like it was a huge deal that they were doing lip syncing instead, because what matters is that they're all the way from Korea or Japan, and I'm seeing them live right now.
Yeah.
Even if I'm 2 stories up, I can still see them, and I feel connected to them.
But then
You know what I'm
like
saying?
yeah, and that's understandable. So like it's cool for the people who are actually there. But like for us at home watching the video, there's no reason to watch like unless you are a fan, there's no reason to watch it plus the music video, you know?
I see. I see what you mean.
Cuz like it's still enjoyable in person, but like the watching it, it's like why am I watching this? Cuz like I'm not actually going to get like a legit live performance out of this, and it's not their fault. It's the broadcast team or their team or whatever, but that's just not my favorite thing. I love live vocals, which is
Yeah, and
why I love Brendan Urie so much. I
I
sound
really
so
like
congested.
groups like 17 and ATs. They perform live, They perform live pretty much every single stage, even if they have like a quiet backtrack or the vocals and the backtracking is like usually pretty quiet, so I can definitely hear them, and that's why I really enjoy like watching their stages pretty much every single time. And I don't know, I feel like there's unfortunately a shortage of girl groups that performs live. I think Red Velvet does, and I'm pretty sure Mamamoo does, since Mamamoo is vocal centric. But those are for a different day, or maybe just just one-off recommendations at some point. But we'll see. Anyways, Joseph, did you have any feelings about the stage? About the stage being different, or is it just pretty much the same as Aydin?
You like the pumpkin?
Yeah, I like the pumpkins. I like how like well, this goes for most groups, but like I just find it interesting, like seeing like their like debut, like the stage is usually smaller, and then you see a live performance from like later on, and it's like a huge like stadium or whatever. I don't know. I think that's neat.
That's Neato Burrito.
Yeah. But yeah, outside of that, I don't really have any other observations that haven't already been stated.
See, okay, so I think what really influenced the way I feel about this song is that I didn't really get into them until 2018. Like, the song is 2015, but I got into them around 2018. So I hadn't heard like their debut track or like their oldest tracks. I heard some like older or some more recent title tracks. Like, the first song I heard was Likey, which is down the line somewhere. And I thought that what do you call it? I felt that, like Uwa, although the lyrics were pretty much like the same dealio as like what most of the songs were to come, I felt that like the whole concept and theme and like the outfits and all that, I thought it showcased exactly like the potential that was to come in later years, and like I felt their patterns to like feature songs, so I felt like it was a good showcase of what was to come. But I really like, I fuck with the hook, I fuck with the chorus, and I love the dance break. I don't know, man. I just seeing Momo at the center and she's wearing the the thingy with the thingy, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah, the thingy with the
I like don't actually remember, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, when it comes to K-pop promotions, sometimes you just remember the outfits, and you're like, wow, that was a thing that I saw.
That's what they like, K-pop fashion is like a whole thing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Epic. It's pretty epic, dudes. Okay, so yeah, then the next section would be 2016 tracks. Or no, wait. How'd you guys feel about the guide video?
These are my notes on the guide video.
Oh boy.
In order. I don't like the oldest one, Nayeon.
What?
For Jonghyun, I wrote pretty. I liked her with longer hair. She had a fat glow up. That live vocal was cool. Momo, my note is ADK. Sana, I wrote she gave her to homies. And then ASMR eating. Thanks, I hate it. Geo, I wrote cool, I guess. Why all their relationships be kind of awkward. Mina, I wrote is a child. Dayun, I wrote she dabbed and that's unacceptable. For Chai,
dude, it was 2017.
For Chaeyoung,
2017.
I wrote I don't care. For Chaeyoung, I wrote I think she's cute, and then I liked her tattoos. Suyu, I said she can shoot a bow.
Suri?
That's cool. She's also pretty cute. And then I wrote Yoda because she's Yoda apparently. And those are my notes on the guide video.
Okay, what about afterward thoughts? No, nothing.
I mean, it was like they seemed like friends outside of the thing, but like it's all like it was entertaining. I don't have a
Mhm.
particular thought on it.
I see. Joseph?
I will say that this is the first time that I have seen a guide video. Like, I feel like that's the one aspect of like K-pop culture that I haven't experienced before, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know they were a thing until now. And like when I saw the video, I didn't think that it was like a thing that people made regularly. Like I thought that like it was just for this group, but I'm like, oh wait, no, it's not. Outside of that, the one that yelled at her boss, I thought that was pretty cool.
Dahyun, that's my favorite.
Oh,
right
that was
there.
funny.
That's
Yeah.
By the way, that boss, yeah, I wrote it in the notes. The boss, JYP, yeah, the company's named after him. He's kind of a big deal. that's one thing I wanted to make note of.
He's
like
kind of funny looking.
Whoa, that's kind of offensive, dude.
No,
No, I agree. He is kind of funny looking.
That's kind of racist, dude.
How is
Has
that
nothing
racist?
to do with his race.
What?
he's just a funny looking guy. Okay.
I would argue that all three of us are funny looking humans, but that's just me.
Yeah, a little bit.
I wouldn't say funny looking. I would just say I'm ugly. But
Hey, funny looking doesn't mean ugly. Funny looking is just funny looking.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Anyways,
getting my multiple eraser all over my chair. You.
yeah. So I'm like, I realize guide videos are best if you're like just getting into the group, and you're like willing to sit yourself down and try to learn about them. It's not they're not as effective when you're just when you're kind of removed from it, and I totally understand it because because I'm imagining someone that's a fan of Twice listening to this right now, and they're like, I can't believe Aydin just said he doesn't like Nayeon. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, yeah, okay, that's fair.
You're gonna
It's a
get
matter
canceled, Aydin.
it's a matter of
I'm a sinner.
previous exposure making it. Yeah, it's a matter of previous exposure making the experience more effective. But otherwise, it would just be like fun, entertaining little editing. Anyways, 2016, Cheer Up to TT.
Yes.
What do you guys think? Because Cheer Up was like a huge thing. It was like a huge deal in Korea. And it was like, if you didn't hear about Twice from like UA or the show they came from, then it's like, you were going to hear about them from Cheer Up. Well, yeah, the show, of course, but like that had 7 other girls that aren't in the group, you know?
Ah.
Yes.
Please edit that out. I am like not feeling great today.
That's fair. I'm congested as hell. I actually liked Cheer Up.
Right.
It was like I liked the song. It's still this like I just don't like that all their songs are about the same thing. That's my only issue, I think. But this one wasn't too like it just was. It was very pop, but like it wasn't like too much like lollipop, which I don't like. The chorus was catchy. I really liked the part of the song when she's like, I don't know if it's the bridge or not, but when she's walking down the hallway with the guns. I like that section of the song,
Oh, that's
and I
the
like that
pre-chorus. Yeah.
visual. Yes,
Yeah,
I actually, yeah, yes, I like that part.
I love
I thought it was a good song in general. Did I have any other notes about this? Oh, I said lol. They had a sign for Dayton, Texas. I wrote lol. They got guns. That's dangerous. She shoots the gun in all caps. And then the string thing. Oh, and then the string instrument thing that the one who wears the kimono plays. You know, in the video. Crap, where is that? Towards like the end. You know, she has the kimono and
let me
she's
just
playing
pull this
like
up
a
real
little
quick.
string instrument thing.
Give me a hot sec. I need to look this up. Oh,
Anyway.
that's Dahyun. That's Dahyun with the guzheng. It's
Yes,
called
but
guzheng.
the thing that she's playing, I had a kid on my floor in college when I lived in the dorm who used to play that.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's cool. I wish
Yes,
I
like
cool.
in the hallway, he would sit in the room and play it, and it sounds beautiful. It sounds
guzheng
like
is
it's like
so
Chinese
gorgeous.
river music, is what it is
Right.
like from. is what he told me.
It'd be cool to learn like an instrument like that.
It's really pretty.
Traditional Chinese instruments are something so
They are
interesting
beautiful.
to me. I did a presentation on it in Chinese. Like,
Yes.
what do you call
Sorry.
it?
Anyway, Joseph.
Chinese
your
instruments.
turn.
Yeah.
There's a lot of settings in this music video, let me say.
Yes. Yes, it does. Yes, it is.
Like, it feels like, I don't know. I'm not gonna say that there's not a point to it because I don't know, but like it feels very like they're throwing out a whole lot of vibes, and they don't all match.
That's it.
But that's more on the music video rather than the song.
Yeah.
And this song, like again, I didn't mind it, but I wasn't in love with it either.
Okay. Nothing about. What about TT? Any particular feelings about TT?
Joseph.
Wait, this might have been the one that I heard before.
Um.
I'm like going through the playlist just to re-jog my memory.
So I really didn't like TT. That's my it was too
I don't
much for
jam
me.
to it. I don't jam to it as much.
I hated like the hand motions. It felt very ooh-woo. And then some of the settings, the filming looks a lot like the Disney Villain Kid movie. What is it called?
Oh, friggin' Descendants.
Yes, it looks like Descendants when the video starts.
I didn't think about that, but now that you mention it.
That's funny.
But it's like too ooh-woo, and if it's like still not a different story, you know. This CG really reminded me of Descendants. Cool match cuts to them in the costumes. I did like that.
Oh yeah,
some of their costumes.
I did appreciate the match cuts too.
The bunny doing the Running Man, that made me laugh.
That's also Dahyun. Also my favorite.
Yes. And then I wrote T-pose into the sky. I
Yes,
don't know
saw
who
that.
T-poses into the sky at the end.
That
but
was
someone
Sana,
does
yes.
it.
That
Yes,
was Sana.
there was a
Yes.
T-pose into the sky, and it made my day.
Yeah, the thing with me and Twice's music, it's like there are a good handful of tracks I like really bop to, but like there's like a good handful of their title tracks where I'm like good but not for me. You know what I mean? TT is one of them. A good handful are pretty much like that, but it's mainly their like more recent stuff where I'm like really vibing with it, and I'm really enjoying myself headbanging in the car. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, okay, go on, Joseph.
Oh, me?
Yes. Particular thoughts.
Okay, so correction, this isn't one of the ones that I had heard before. But I may have a few friends who reference it, and now I get the reference. Outside of that, I kind of like the Halloween aesthetic. But then Aydin kind of ruined it by comparing it to Descendants, and now I can't unsee that.
I didn't see Descendants, so I don't know.
Okay, I did.
But yeah, I like the spooky kind of Halloween stuff just because I dig that vibe.
So, but after that, I put in the playlist. I put in a couple videos talking about a couple of the members, just a couple of the members and their stories, like regarding 16 and some of the hardships they went through. They were like pretty short, I think, fairly short. So I thought like it was good to just get like a little glimpse of what it was like, because that was definitely not. Excuse me. I'm not feeling great today. It is not. I thought it was important to hear about it just a little bit because of how the industry is. Do you guys have any thoughts on that?
I do. Well, this is less specific to Twice, but like related. But I do find it interesting how, with like a lot of these groups, like part of like being a part of the culture is like getting attached to like these individuals,
Right.
Which I think like these videos like play to, like it like the point of them is to like tell you like their journey or whatever.
Right. I don't like when I'm when I'm listening to Western music, I don't feel like I know that much about Brendan Urie. I don't feel like I know that much about Vic Fuentes. I don't feel like I know like Keshi, but I listen to their music. I listen to their music and I love it. And you know what I mean? But when it comes to K-pop, I feel like there's just I feel like even if the personalities are exaggerated, which naturally it probably is because there's a camera, there's still a part of them that's showing, and you know, it just makes me naturally I grow attached to them, like parasocially.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you would like a Twitch streamer, you know,
Yeah.
or a YouTuber.
Which I think is interesting because, like you said, Western bands don't normally have that. Like, they're still like it still like kind of happens. Like, if you're like get really into a band, but that's more of like a byproduct of like just being super into them. Like, they don't do anything to like facilitate that. But like in K-pop, like that's like part of it. Like,
it sure is.
and I just find it interesting because like you said, it's similar to like a YouTuber or like a Twitch streamer, but it's on like a bigger scale. Which I think is one of the things that makes K-pop unique, because it like facilitates those parasocial relationships on like such a large scale that normally like celebrity doesn't have.
Also, also, can I just say more regular music? You know what I mean? When it comes to K-pop, and when I was like into those emo bands, the gap between, like, say, the gap between Too Rare to Live or Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die, the gap between that and then the next album, which was Death of a Bachelor, I think, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
3 whole years, and then the gap between Death of a Bachelor to you know what I mean? What's it called? Pray for the Wicked. I couldn't think of it for a second. Pray for the Wicked. What? 2 years? 2.5 years? It's like,
yes, 2.
Like, yeah, like good on you, man, for taking your time to make sure that your songs are sounding great and something you're proud of. But the thing with K-pop is like, if it's like a really great group where you love the music, you're gonna get something hopefully within 6 months, you know, unless you're Blackpink and you wait a year and 3 months, or you're from S9 and I'm still waiting a year and 2 months. Anyways, but like, I feel like with K-pop you get more regular content, and what do you call it? There's just way more ways for you to feel connected to the artist, or at least more available options. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, I guess like I think that goes to kind of my issue with like also like watching the process was kind of depressing because they're just kind of mean to these like children, and like I get it. It's just so like manufactured, and it is a lot more about the content than it is really about the music. Like every single one of Twice's songs is at least the ones you showed us are about the exact same thing, just sung differently. And I think that's why there's so much content, is because like they have a group of people who write the songs. They get in rehearsal, sing it, and perform it a million times. Like it feels very like disconnected from like the people and then the music. Like it feels like it's 2 separate parts. Like it's like doing the music is like their job, but then also being them and like being a certain personality is also part of their job. I don't know. It's a little. It's just different than what I am used to, I guess.
And so was I.
Yeah.
It's like, for me, when I got into K-pop, I felt that way too, and then I encountered 17. You know what I mean? 17, so incredibly diverse. I feel like I don't know, maybe months down the line we're filming this podcast, I'll get to 17, but I feel like they have such a great amount of diversity that you can't go wrong with them. I think it's like, I feel like 17 is the group. 17 is a group that mirrors mirrors like the value of music in Western culture, while at the same time also having the good things about K-pop, like regular content and personalities you grow attached to. You know what I mean? But when it comes to Twice, Twice is more of a group that you were meant to, or JYP intended them to be like relatable personalities, relatable girls that you grow attached to. It's not as much for them about the music, and what they were more keen on was pretty talented girls all around, and then charming personalities. What was more important for Twice as a group? Charming personalities. And why I'm showing Twice first is because of that. You know what I mean? Like, why would I just show you? Why would I say I'm recommending you music and it's just something you're used to? You know what I mean?
Fair.
Yeah, I just
Very
wanted
fair.
to show you guys like a different thing, because like I could have started with 17 and it's like all of this and what you're used to. But then again, you're just gonna focus on what you're used to. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
Yeah. I'm sorry I'm boring you.
No, you're not boring me. I'm sorry, I just yawned.
Okay. Anyways, like I said, it was a matter of showing you. I feel like a group like Twice is more of K-pop than not, but I also feel like the groups I really, really enjoy, the music I really, really enjoy, are groups where it's more about the music, and they write
That's
their
fair.
own lyrics and they compose. It's like stuff. It's stuff like
Yeah.
that. They're like a group like G Friend. If I don't know if Joseph,
I've
you've heard
no
of them.
I haven't
Yeah,
heard of them.
I know you haven't, Aydin, I'm just saying. But like a group like G Friend, I don't listen to their music at all, but I love the girls. You know what I mean? Like I watch their reality appearances all the time, but I do not listen to their music. It is not for me. Nothing against people who like it. It's just not for me. And same with some boy groups. I don't really know their personalities at all, but I check out every single comeback every single time, you know? because I really enjoy their music. It's why I like Twice, is that the music is good now, but there's so much old content that I in times where I didn't know about them, and that I really enjoy when it comes to like learning about the girls. It technically wasn't until Fancy where I was like, I am getting way into this group right fucking now, you know, which was all the way till what, April 2019. So anyways, is that it for our tangent about the industry? Any
Yes.
closing thoughts about that?
Wait, do I have anything else to say?
It's impressive how hard those girls work, though.
Yes.
I will say.
No, like the performers, like, I know are like overworked sometimes. Like,
Naturally.
Yeah,
I
that was
remember
insane.
I remember hearing Coco, if you guys have heard of her, she's like on Twitch now. I remember her talking about like some of her early trainee days. She would like dance for like 12 hours straight for like
oh, that's insane.
4 or
Damn.
5 days a week. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And why another thing, Joseph.
He'll be back. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. Joseph.
Sorry, I did the thing again.
Jesus. Okay.
Pills, Joseph. Pills.
I know. Okay, so yeah. So what I appreciate about K-pop is you can see the process when it comes to like the shows. You can see, you have a visual like thing to reference about how hard they work. You can see how hard they work, and then see the product of that, which is the stages. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I feel like since we're going pretty over time, let's just skip to like the more recent stuff. Unless you guys.
I mean,
have
we can go over this. Like, we can go over the sections of songs. Like, I can put Knock Knock, Signal, and Likey all in the same. Like, I didn't like the songs.
Mm-hmm.
They were just like those three. I think were my least favorite three.
Mm-hmm.
Those plus Yes or Yes. I did not like that one. I
Yes,
like that one either.
I just got into K-pop, and then Yes or Yes came out. I'm like, oh, this is Twice. Maybe
Yeah.
not. And then I
Um,
thought, maybe not. And then Fancy came. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
My one big note for the Knock Knock music video, I just wrote, God bless those editors. Those poor men. That was a lot of editing. That looked
Yeah.
painful. The vocals in Signal sounded good. Like just the sound of it. I didn't like this like the song was like every song was the same thing, which just made me sad. I think I wanted to like them, but I just wanted more variety, I
More
guess.
from them. And that's why I included B-sides. The B-sides are different.
You know, the funny thing is the two B-sides you included were the only two I actually like enjoyed other than Cheer Up.
Really?
Yes, I really liked both B-sides.
Which ones were the
that you
B-sides?
included. Trick It and
Cricket, Love Foolish, and Make Me Go. Those were all B-sides.
oh, I didn't like Love Foolish. I liked Trick It and Make Me
Love
Go.
Foolish is like my favorite track by them.
Really?
What?
I liked Truck It, Trick It, and
Truck
Make Me
It.
Go. Fucking Truck It, dude! Sorry. Yes. Okay. So that was my opinions on those three songs. I didn't like that little era.
And trust me, I get it.
Okay,
Because like back in 27, back in like early 2018, I had heard Likey, and then I'm like, okay, who is this Twice? Who are these Twice characters? So I looked up more of their music, and I thought, oh yeah, pretty much the same, pretty bubblegum. And like the thing with their choreography, I know you called it simplistic. The thing with Twice is like they have their main dancers to do impressive things for like other stages, but like the group tracks, the group songs and group performances, it's about the point choreography. It's about memorable moments.
I figured.
Yeah, it's about memorable moments
that makes sense.
for people to do on the street. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you like Twice? I'm doing so me like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I did Knock Knock Signal and Likey back to back. So by Likey, I got kind of sassy, and I just one of my notes for Likey, it just says me no Likey.
That is kind of screwed up, bro.
I was getting sassy.
I will
I don't blame
say,
you.
Likey was one of the ones that I didn't care for very much.
It was the first. Imagine me. It's the first song I hear. I'm like, sigh.
I mean, thank you for not making that the first song. I appreciate it.
No, I organized it in the order in which title tracks came out.
Yeah, fair enough.
Sense.
Yeah.
Joseph, those three songs, did you have opinions?
I mean, Likey was the only one that I really didn't care for. The other two, I didn't have strong opinions on. It wasn't until like later where I started to like I think it's like Fancy, and then what's the other one?
Fancy.
Feel Special.
Dude, I will fight you.
Okay, I just heard those before.
No, I mean like I will fight you, Aydin, for mentioning.
Yeah, I
garbage
know.
music
I'm sorry.
on this podcast.
Wait, Joseph, did you like the little alien boy in Signal? I like the
Yeah.
poor alien dude
Yeah!
who kept getting his shit kicked in by the girls trying to get with him, and they sent him flying like 30 feet. And I'm like, what the fuck? This poor man.
That's fun.
Miscommunication was the theme.
Yes.
Was the common theme. How'd you guys feel about the memes?
They were pretty like okay. I've seen like BTS meme compilations before, so like
Yeah, me too.
so it felt fairly similar to that. Just like the tone and the way they're edited and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was just a crack video. It was like watching any anime on crack, or like it's fun. Like I like seeing those moments. It didn't help me get to know anyone individually anymore, but that's just because I didn't put the like time/effort into really memorizing each of their faces.
Right.
But like I enjoyed it. Like I do enjoy that part, like watching the like outside content.
Yeah.
Because being an idol is like a full-time job.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like it's crazy to see in that culture. Sorry, how much of their lives are documented and like how much they're really like just on all the time.
Yeah.
For me, the best ways you can see like you can get used to like a member's face and their personality is just from like their personal like V lives. You know what I mean by V live, right?
Oh yeah. I've seen some of those.
Yeah, it's when they just personally live stream themselves and they're just talking
Yes.
to the fans in the chat. Yeah, I feel like those are the best times you can really take a moment to learn who they are and their faces. Which Joseph,
Damn it.
making Aydin edit.
No,
Making Aydin edit.
I'm keeping it in. I'm keeping every time Joseph left in, and I'm gonna make a counter, and I'm gonna know what I'm gonna do with it because I'm not feeling particularly clever at the moment. But when I do think of something, I'm gonna do it.
my
Right.
Wi-Fi is being so stinky right now.
Your
Uh-oh,
parts are
stinky.
being stinky. I got him.
Poopies. Stinky.
Stinkies.
So yeah, it's not. Yeah, it wasn't even necessarily like meme videos that really like helped me to love certain members. I think it was more V lives. But I thought that was just a fun thing to show you guys, so that you just take a break from listening to the music and you can see.
I did enjoy those.
Yeah, why fans find them funny and all that stuff. Et cetera, et cetera. And I'll be honest with you guys, like the latest comeback when I started getting into K-pop was Dance the Night Away, and I'm like, oh, okay. Because for me, Dance the Night Away, it's like, and like,
we gonna be it on the floor. La, la, la. Sorry. I thought Joseph would sing J-Lo with me, and he didn't. So now I'm kind of sad.
Familiar enough with that song.
Damn.
Anyways, by that point, Dance the Night Away had been their most like complicated choreography. But for me, it was like it's a summer track. You know, summer tracks are summer tracks. Summer tracks I don't vibe with that much, and I'm not going to be listening to them a lot because that's just how it is. So I felt it a little unfortunate. That was like the latest track that had come out when I started getting into it. But that's why I didn't really take the time to commit myself to learning about Twice until Fancy, really. Anyways, later tracks. Fancy, Feel Special, and More and More. How'd you guys feel?
Those are the ones I'm familiar with. So like when I heard those, I was like, oh, I know this.
Naturally.
And I think because of that, I was a little bit more into them just because I had experienced them before.
Right. Like Yes or Yes was just the end of the total cutesiness, and it was like I feel like these three tracks are more like growing into a more mature group. I think. Aydin?
Because they can't keep up the cutesy shtick forever.
Oh,
I agree.
Oh crap! I almost fell back.
Nice.
So, I actually wrote for Fancy. They look slightly more adultish.
That's the point. Yeah.
I wrote the dance is aight, but it's not my kind of song. For Feel Special, it's I didn't like Feel. I did like More and More. I think that was the one out of the three I did like. I said the opening sounds like Go Crazy by Chris Brown. If you've ever listened to the intro of Go Crazy, it sounds like that.
Wait, which one?
The intro to More and More in the music video sounds like the intro to Go Crazy by Chris Brown.
Give me a second. Let me.
I wrote
let me
sex song in all caps. I wrote there's some confidence in this song which I really liked. Like I really like them feeling themselves and not being cutesy ditzy. Like I really liked that. The chorus was the only thing I wasn't a huge fan of just because it's just kind of one word, but that's okay because I did like the song in general.
You know what? Most people take issue with More and More, or at least the people who take issue with More and More. It's the chorus.
Yeah.
It's not because for me, I was mostly a fan of the outfits and the newly complicated choreography, or at least the new difficult choreography. Because they've twice said themselves that they thought it was their most complicated choreography since Dance the Night Away, at least as a group.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. Korean fans apparently are like really confusing because during their cutesy times, which was most of their career, during their cutesy times, they felt like, oh, when are we going to get to see a more mature side of Twice? And then so they waited and waited, and then these 3 songs came, and then now apparently some Korean fans are like, when are we going to see the cutesy side again?
I
I
don't
know.
know.
I know,
Never
right?
listen to people. Just like I think that's the problem with like company produced idols kind of thing is like when you because they do leave everything in the hands of fans essentially because they'll change whatever to fit a certain archetype,
Yeah.
I guess. And because it's to move sales and to make money, it's not about the music. And that's okay, but that is the flaw that comes with that kind of brand. Is like they're just going to keep changing, and it's just hard to grab onto one thing. If that makes sense, I feel like that made a lot more sense in my mind when I was
I get
thinking
what you're
that,
trying to
but
say.
that's
Yeah,
fine.
I get
Okay,
it.
thank you,
I get
Joseph.
what you're trying to say. But it was a
Articulation is
little,
difficult.
but yeah, I
It
think
was rough, but we got there. It was rough, but we got there.
yeah, because with Twice, it's like I felt when I was getting into K-pop, I felt like I needed a group. I needed a girl group to like really go really put my time and learn about. Which at first wasn't Twice. I'll be honest, because I feel like I don't know them as well as I know some other groups that I'm into. But I just chose this group because they're big. But otherwise, like I had when I was learning about K-pop in 2018 and early 2019, I was like starving for non-cutesy content. You know what I mean? And so, and that's why, like I eventually came to a couple groups like some of Red Velvet, G Idol, CLC, some CLC. It's like there, there are girl groups there are girl groups with different sounds and why, and I stay away from like too cutesy stuff musically anyways. Like when you look at my K-pop playlist and it's girl groups, it's so rarely cutesy stuff, unless it's from S9. For some reason their cutesy stuff really vibes with me, but but otherwise I felt it was a nice change to go from Yes or Yes to Fancy, and I thought and I still feel like Fancy is one of my favorite songs of theirs. It's maybe one of my favorite girl group songs of 2019. I feel like, but I feel like Everglow passed them. Everglow is another whole other thing I might recommend some other day, maybe like months and months down the line when they have more music. But anyways, yeah, Korean netizens are very, very interesting. They're so, I feel like some of them are so confusing, and I try not to pay attention to it. It's like Stan Twitter, and I don't like Stan Twitter.
Yeah.
Stan Twitter is like so toxic. I hate it so much. Oh, but I do have a little anecdote to share with you guys. Apparently there was a stage of More and More, but where they won first place on a music show, right?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and they won so many first place. Joseph, let's be real, it's not a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
It's something to be happy about, but it's expected. It's expected. It's like BTS came back and they didn't win music shows. That's a shocker. You know what I mean? But the thing with BTS now, they don't really go on music shows much, anyways. But that's aside from the point. But yeah, they won, and pretty much every music show, when you win first place, they like play the title track you're promoting. It's instrumental, and you just sing it live, and those are called encore stages, and they're just like having fun on stage celebrating. It's never really a serious thing. It's not like they're being judged or critiqued for it, or they don't expect to be, rather. But apparently there was a moment where like Momo was singing a high note and her voice really cracked really hard. It was bad. Like I feel really bad for her. And then that played on the and that played on air. And
unfortunate.
Yeah, it was so unfortunate. But a lot of people gave her shit for it. And I read comments like, wow, even after 4 years, she still sucks at singing. I'm like, Jesus Christ, chill out. Or, wow, you'd think by now they'd be better singers. I'm like, ouch, it's an encore stage. Chill the fuck out. I was just wondering if you guys had any thoughts on that.
People probably took that out of context.
or not understanding the context if they heard it.
Yeah.
People
Right.
are just assholes.
Yeah.
That's kind of it. I mean, like you can see in some of the clips when they're on like stages, bro, they're just having fun with their friends and shit. Like
Exactly.
there's no, but you know, everyone online is a dickwad. I mean, like, just don't listen to people. I assume to be an idol, you have to have thick enough skin anyway to deal with stupid ass
Yeah.
people saying stupid shit. Like,
Oh my god, you have no idea.
just the key is to not give a fuck about people who mean nothing because they're upset. I mean, bro, it's like I talk shit on every TikToker in existence because they are talentless people, but they're still making the money off of stupid shit. So
Yep.
it's like, you know what? All I can do is complain, and they're still getting rich, so they don't give a fuck.
Can I,
I'm the one losing in that situation.
short tangent. Can I just say, for me as a dancer, TikTok dancing is not dancing. It's hand
I'm
movements.
aware. That's not a tangent. That's just a fact.
Give me a sec. And when TikTok started getting like really big, especially around this time, mid 2019 and later too, K-pop groups started opening official TikTok accounts, and they're like trying to create dance challenges, quote unquote, right, for TikTokers to do. Who do I see doing it? I see real dancers copying it. None of these actual TikTokers, quote unquote, are doing the real choreography. And I'm like, what does that say about you guys as quote unquote dancers? Anyways, that's a whole. Oh my
But
god!
I want to watch Charlie D'Amelio shake her ass.
She's underage. She's underage. She's underage.
Yes, I'm aware. It was a joke.
Yeah.
I hate that a 15-year-old girl, whatever, 16 she is,
Yeah,
has
that's
70
fine.
million followers because she shakes her ass for 40-year-old men on TikTok.
Yep.
Okay,
but-
That
tangent.
is very sketch.
And yes, exactly. That's why I think this is important to talk about as a dancer. I feel like there's just so many issues. There's so many issues to me with TikTok quote unquote dance videos, and they're getting clout from it, and they're getting brand deals from it, and
Yep.
that's why I don't know. Hot take. I hope Trump bans it.
That's not a hot take, I don't think, because I also really hope it gets banned. I'm so excited to see all the teenagers complain
Oh my
as
god,
they
I want it so
as
bad.
they dab and woe and shit. Okay,
They
anyway,
dab and woe.
what do we have left for twice?
Oh yeah. I was just wondering if you had any
Fucking Joseph, you
Get your
bastard!
I'm sorry.
They're all staying in. Every single one.
Does it play the noise whenever I leave? Like, does it record that?
We will find out.
I'm gonna put it in. If it doesn't, I will
make sure you
waste more time putting that in.
Yeah. You do have the disconnect and connect sounds, right?
Yes, I know. I have everything I could possibly desire.
And you
That's
have the
not true. I want money.
and you have your text to speech generator.
I do.
I appreciated that.
Thank you. I thought that was funny.
Okay. Anyways, if you guys have any like, do you guys have any thoughts about how it compares to American pop music or like the culture? Any thoughts? That we haven't covered already.
Anything new? Okay, how it compares. I mean, it's certainly a different sort of pop than American pop. I'm trying to like think about how to word this in my mind.
And that's
It's
why I
just
wanted
happier
to...
in general, I think. I feel like
right.
I feel like pop is a lot more depressing here. And like even though it's very clearly like a manufactured kind of thing, it still feels less fake
Yeah.
than American shit because
Mhm.
it's open about what it is.
Right.
Like, you can literally watch the band become a band and then everything in between and all of that. But
Right.
it's very clearly like that's what it is. Like this is someone's job. Instead of in America, we have this like, no, it's all real, even though you can tell it's manufactured and fake.
Right.
And
Yeah.
they try to push that, and it's So I appreciate it more than American pop. It disgusts me less, despite the fact that it like should disgust me more. which I think is impressive.
Well, sometimes when there's a company that really treats their artists poorly, then of course I feel like that's
Yes.
more disgusting than the way.
Yeah.
But for
fakeness of
twice
American pop.
specifically,
Twice
this
is
example
fine most of the
specifically,
time.
it's pretty okay.
Yeah,
Pretty
like
okay.
the way the company treats Twice is definitely a lot better than some artists. For example, YG to Blackpink. But yeah, like for because JYP makes it a point that all the girls stay healthy and are actually in a healthy figure rather than, starving themselves and all
Yeah.
that, Like I remember watching in Itchy Dance Practice, that's another JYP girl group, an Itchy Dance Practice, and they're like all in shorts. And then you can clearly see some thigh jiggle. You don't see that in a lot of girl group dance practices. And I'm just like, oh, like I wasn't the only one that thought this. I read a comment that's just like, wow, you can see here that like JYP is actually caring that they stay in like a healthy shape, but because like I feel like there's like this stigma about that all K-pop groups have bad managers, or they're all starving themselves, or they all get plastic surgery. It's like, no, it's company to company, and I feel like that's something I feel like should be cleared up.
Yeah.
Joseph, Joseph, does your brain have thoughts ever? Does it have the
That's a great question.
exquisite?
No thoughts yet, MD.
I try
Because
not
mine
to.
doesn't. Mine like really doesn't actually have thoughts. I believe that someone plants them there.
You mean the media?
Dude, we live in a society.
We live in a society.
I'm sorry, Joseph.
I mean, nothing else that I haven't already said. I agree. Like there is, like it's manufactured, but they're like transparent about it being manufactured, which makes it feel less manufactured,
Mm-hmm.
which is weird.
But like it does.
I don't know. I feel like I do think that there's like a genius to it, like how they like get you attached to the people, and like they're basically doing their job like almost 24/7. Like they're always being a personality. Between like the performances and like the V lives and stuff.
Yes.
And I just find that interesting.
Okay. Okay. Any final thoughts to close out the podcast? Cricket.
Oh, that was an invitation to speak?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Joseph?
No, I think my previous statement summarizes my thoughts.
I agree. I do feel that my previous statement summarized my thoughts.
Right. Okay, that's good. And I just want to say, even though like I'm hearing this not for you guys, and that's fine, because I'll be honest, I love Twice, but not all their music is for me, and there are groups where a lot of their music is for me. There are groups where none of their music is for me, but I like them anyways. And that's why I think K-pop is so rich,
There are definitely layers to it.
Exactly.
That's very fair.
Yeah.
Like I'll probably listen to Cheer Up a couple more times.
Mm-hmm.
Or
And-
like some of those B tracks I liked.
Mm-hmm. It's about why I again, like I said, I brought Twice to you guys to show the more personality based groups rather than the performance based groups. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're great dancers. They're great dancers, and I love that. And they have some pretty great singers and all that. Of course. But I feel like the same way a group like Mamamoo is vocal focused, Twice is more personality focused. You know what I mean? And I just wanted to showcase that to you guys. So, who's next?
It's me.
Okay.
After not cutting the audio and definitely having this prepared beforehand, we have determined that we're gonna be watching my favorite Disney movie. Wait, what's the name of this movie again? Oh,
Treasure
Treasure
Planet.
Planet. I know what I'm doing. Fuck. So yeah, Jordan hasn't seen, or at least he saw when he was like 3. He
Yeah,
doesn't
I
remember
don't
it.
remember it. Like, at all.
Treasure Planet, and it's my favorite Disney movie of all time. It's really slept on. I have really good stories and tidbits and facts to share about it. So,
Cool.
fun fact, I wrote a paper on it my senior year.
You did?
So yeah, I
Nice.
did. So thank you for
Wow.
joining us. Jordan, thank you very much for putting together this very articulate podcast. I definitely will not do the same. But I did appreciate all the effort
Yeah.
you put into this.
Yeah,
Thank you,
because
big boy.
this topic really means a lot to me, and it means more to me. It means even more to me that you guys were even willing to try it. And,
Oh yeah.
Of
and-
course, baby.
And even though if we had an audience, I know I'm getting flack for it because
I solidly enjoyed it more than I thought I would. I did not enjoy the beginning experience of it because I really didn't like the music, and then as it went along, it got better.
Mhm.
And that was my general experience.
Yeah, I hoped to structure the playlist at least like a movie in a way, in like a growing journey kind of way.
Yeah.
But
Craig,
again-
how did you feel about it?
Now recording.